Dear colleagues, dear ladies and gentlemen, I would like to thank the organizers of this seminar to give me the opportunity to talk to you for a couple of minutes on the question, what should a modern statistician look like? Obviously, we have to give an answer to the modern discussion on data sciences versus official statistics, whether official statistics can and should integrate more data sciences, whether this is partly problematic or whether it's not changing official statistics at all. And of course, I would like to focus here on the relevance of this possible or not possible integration for the literacy and the professional education of statisticians working in statistical institutions. I will approach the theme by using three theoretical frameworks. The first is relevant for the general question what official statistics is, and my answer following the total quality management of W.E. Deming, who was a statistician, by the way, is that official statistics is firstly a public infrastructure, secondly a factory, and this factory is producing products. So statistical outputs, be they tangible or intangible, are products and services coming out of a factory and industrial production. This means that we can and should follow total quality management concepts as managers do in the automotive industry or in other forms of industries. The second theoretical concept that I will use is answering the question what official statistics' role is in the public discourse. And this is quite important to distinguish official statistics from private statistics, data sciences in companies, and so forth. So the role of official statistics is to provide verified facts, so solid, trustworthy facts for the public discourse, public decision making. And so it means that we official statisticians are policy relevant, but we have to be very, very careful that we are not being politically driven. This is a little bit the kind of paradox. And the economy of conventions, convention theory, which was introduced by scholars like Alain de Roisière and others, they focus on the difficulties, the challenges, and also the sociology of this type of economy of statistical conventions or information conventions. Thirdly, I use a theoretical concept to structure the question of statistical literacy. And there is a data literacy framework by a German colleague called Katharina Schüler that is very, very applicable also to structure the data literacy demands in official statistics. So the main question is, what kind of mix should we have on topics, skills, and knowledge? So not only knowledge, but we need skills, knowledge, ethics, and many, many other things for the education of official statisticians. And we have to find a middle way between too much specialization in the education and a too, how to say, broad and too general knowledge base for the employment in the statistical factory. And the selection criteria for me are Deming's profound knowledge criteria. And I would like to understand the different stages as an official statistician of compiling statistics. So for me, as a young statistician, it is very important that I understand the DNA, so the core of the factory, how the processes run, how I have the possibility to cooperate with other colleagues which are specialized in other parts of the office. So I do not need to know everything because there is a kind of sharing of work and specialization, but I do have to understand what my colleague in, let's say, the other part of the office can do for me. Now, there are three main processes in official statistics, and I would like to look at these three main processes and ask myself, what kind of knowledge should a young statistician bring when coming to the entry point of a statistical office? So a little bit of knowledge of history of official statistics would be good. It's certainly important that we are aware about the boundaries and the scope of official statistics, so as to be able to distinguish between official statistics and research, for example. We shall know also the conventions and standards which are used for the development of methods, products, and the entire product program. We should have a good understanding of processes of product planning, participation of different user groups, and final decision-making on the product portfolio. We should know about the existence and importance of classifications, nomenclatures, and the international cooperation and standard setting. Because nowadays, official statistics is no longer a purely national affair. We need to be comparable with other countries and so forth. So international cooperation is important. Ethics are important, statistical data protection, and to use a modern term, data trusteeship. And of course, very often we in statistical institutions are not working alone, but we have to use partners and we have to cooperate with them. Secondly, it's important, of course, that we know the core of the techniques, methods, and algorithms, tools, and production. Essential elements in survey statistics. And here comes also the data sciences, artificial intelligence into the play. Application of models in official statistics is very important because it's not just surveying what we do. We estimate, we impute, we use geographical information systems. And then the business architecture, the whole factory is something that we need to understand. That this is not a spaghetti bowl of single processes, but all the elements hang together. And of course, every statistician should have a minimum knowledge about national accounts, because this is the core of the statistical system. Lastly, all statisticians should have a good understanding of user interaction, of quality concepts, and of the main communication tools with our clients. So information quality, management, assurance, quality verification, and certification. How to distinguish different products by quality profiles, how to protect the brand official statistics, and so forth. And finally, then the modern tools of communication, indicators, interactive tools, and so forth. Finally, data literacy is very important, so we cannot communicate with clients which are not educated to understand what we tell them. So this is more or less a kind of small panorama, and I will share a wider presentation with the host so that you can have a closer look at the next slides, which are going a little bit into more detail, and I would like to thank you for your attention. Thank you very much.